Hello everyone, welcome back to Bits and Bob's Divination. My name is Caitlin, and today we're going to be looking into who you are attracting into your life and why you are alluring to them. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so welcome back my beautiful kindred spirits and anyone new who may be joining us here for the very first time. If you are, or maybe this is one of your first or second or third videos, then definitely feel free and consider subscribing to this space as I put out new readings every single Monday. But yeah, we're going to be diving in today into what makes you so attractive and why you're attracting in the types of people that you are. And so this is going to be a very all-inclusive reading, as all of my readings are, but as it is Pride Month, I wanted to do one that isn't specifically romance related, although some of the piles do have more of a romantic element to them, but also within friendships, co-workers, opportunities that you're bringing in, the types of soul level relationships you're bringing in, that kind of stuff. So it's going to be a very mixed bag, but I hope you do enjoy. If you were here for my reading last week, you'll know that I had a cold that was just starting up and now I'm at the tail end of it, but my voice is still a little croaky, a little creaky. So I hope you do forgive me for that as we move through the piles. But before we do head into them, I do want to let you know that I am putting out fun things for Pride Month. As a queer person myself, I thought it would be really fun to do something that was very inclusive and fun within my offerings. So definitely feel free to check out all of the information on the Pride offerings that I'm putting out this month. A lot of it is going to be in my Instagram for all of the information there and how you can participate. But also, I'm still going to be doing snail mail readings this month. So if you're interested to look even deeper in this sort of element or within other queries that you may have, I can definitely look into one of those for you, and also have maybe some paper on the way in too. So there's lots of fun offerings to play around with this month, and I'm having so much fun. It's one of my favorite months. I love June, so I would love to celebrate it and have fun with it with you over there. So all of the information is down below. It's a great way to support this space and keep it going. And yeah, so let's go ahead and dive into the piles. So for each of the piles, I've definitely used these hearts before, these crystal hearts. So for those of you who have seen them before and can't really choose between them because of that, I also gave you guys different letters to choose from as well, so you can play around with both of them. For the letter that you have over here for the first pile, we have the letter Z, as well as the heart of a flower agate. So that is pile number 1. For pile number 2, your letter is the letter L, as well as the heart of Amethyst. So that is pile number 2. And for pile number 3, we have the letter S, as well as the heart of Bumblebee, Jasper. So that is pile number 3. So feel free, as always, to take a deep and cleansing breath here with me to really ground and center within your intuition and within these piles. So let's go ahead and take that deep cleansing breath here now. So there really is no right or wrong way to choose between your piles here. You can choose 1, 2, all 3 piles, choose a pile, flip-flop, change your mind. There really is no right or wrong way here. All of the timestamps will be down below in the description, as well as within the chapter marks of this video. I'm definitely losing my voice here at the end, but thank you so much for being here, supporting this space, supporting yourself through the snail mail readings, Pride-related offerings, the different paper and handmade magical goods that I create. I love being able to support you through my own craft and my 2 hands as I hand make things for you all. So thank you so much for checking all of that out, subscribing, liking, commenting, and being present within this community. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and get started with pile number 1. Hello Group 1, if you decide to choose this flower agate heart as well as the letter Z, then this is the pile for you. We're going to be looking into the people that you are attracting in right now, for friendships, for colleagues, for opportunities that they may bring, for family members, and also for most of you, probably romantic relationships. But we will see what comes through with the cards. As I mentioned earlier in the intro, my voice is going to be all over the place with this one as I'm still recovering from a cold. So do take the weird squeaks with a little more patience here. We are going to be using the charms. We may not be hitting on the watercolor affirmations today, but we are going to be using the charms over here with the letter tiles and numbers. We're also going to be using the oracle deck over here of the spell casting oracle, and also the amazing deck that's perfect for Pride Month that I love to use, which is the crystal unicorn deck. So if you are settled, ready to go with a nice cozy drink or blanket, or however you'd like to watch and receive these messages, then feel free to, as we're going to go ahead and get started. So feel free to send your energy in through time and space here now. And we're going to get started first by looking at 3 different traits of the types of people you are currently attracting and magnetizing in. Then we'll be looking further into why that is. So let's start first with, who are you even attracting in? Is it friendships? Is it romantic relationships, or different types of love, familial relationships, those sorts of things? Like, what's coming in and who are these people? So group one, who are you attracting in group 1? Okay, so first off, we have the Page of Cups, very emotion-based driven. This is also has a lot to do with friendship as well, as there's usually like this friendly sort of gesture that's coming in here with the little fish that shows up. It can be surprise friendships as well. So let's see a little bit more about this person or these types of people they may be attracting in at this time. So group 1 here, group 1, as always, helps if you send your energy in. It tends to happen right away almost every time. We get one more here, one more. Okay, so we have the Queen of Wands, as well as the 7 of Pentacles. That's all of the cards that you had come out on this type of person or the type of people that you may be attracting into your life. So what I'm getting right off the bat is that this person is very well-rounded in terms of the types of suits that we're getting here, right? We've got pentacles, we've got cups, we've got wands. The only thing we're missing is swords. So this person maybe doesn't always take the most logical route, but they are very emotionally driven in the projects and passions that they have. They're a very passionate person, slightly more optimistic in the way that they view the world as well. We have a lot of optimism that comes in here with the Queen of Wands. Also, possibly someone who's in a leadership position. So I am getting, for some of you, you might be attracting this person in the workplace or within a relationship that is possibly someone who's older or more mature in their emotional maturity, as well as in how driven they are and inspired by life that they are, right? So there is sort of like, yes, they may be more mature or higher up in their career or higher up in the way that your dynamic is, right? Like in terms of even age. But I am getting this feeling that they're still quite a young spirit, right? They still are finding life to be really fueling. They find a lot that really drives them and charms them about life. So there is that element here definitely coming in with that Queen of Wands. Like I said with the Page of Cups, though, there is this friendly vibe. They seem to be like the type of person that maybe you'd be surprised that they'd be quite a friendly person, because sometimes with the Page of Cups, it can showcase a surprise friendship that shows up, or this surprise charm to them. So it might be that you initially would meet these types of people and think, I don't know if they're like my kind of people, and then they kind of charm their way in, and you find that they're more friendly or more open than you had originally kind of got off of them or were originally thinking that they would be like. With this 7 of Pentacles, though, we are getting kind of a different narrative. So where we have that leadership, more mentor, or even that age gap difference that I was talking about earlier, with the 7 of Pentacles, again, it shows more of that driven nature. They're very driven in the things that they want to create and do. They're definitely not a quitter, but sometimes they can get that tunnel vision where they just want to get things done. They want to get to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing, that they're usually thinking a lot of the time very much far into the future. So if you met this person, they might not feel as the most present person or very good at being like in the moment. And that's sort of the vibe that I get here with the Seven of Pentacles coming through. But yeah, those are the things that I'm getting most, right? An optimistic person, quite driven, slightly older possibly, or at least they feel more wise, or something that you weren't expecting. But yeah, I just think that this person has more under their sleeve than what they immediately give to the world, right? Like, we always have that front that we have this feeling of this is the person on the surface. There's a lot more deeply underneath this person as well, but this is the stuff that you would immediately get off the person. So let's go ahead and look a little further. So I'm going to actually pull 2 more cards now. So now that we know kind of the people that you might be attracting in, we're going to look into why that is. So what are 2 traits about you that they find magnetizing, alluring, and attractive about you that are kind of bringing them to you, that are creating this space for them to want to pursue you in some way, whether that's for friendship or for a romantic relationship or otherwise. And you can definitely feel free to take that time to see if this is even something you're interested in, because later we will be pulling the charms and seeing if you guys are even compatible. But let's see here, Group 1, what about you is alluring and attractive and magnetizing these types of Queen of Wands, Page of Cups, and Seven of Pentacles types of people in? I don't think it's that one. Let's keep going. Okay, so we're getting a couple flying out here. Let's see. Okay, so the 2 that flew out, the first one that flew out was the 8 of Wands here. And then the other one that we got here is the Ace of Swords. And I think it's really interesting that the first thing that I picked up off of your cards here was that there were no swords present. And then you got a sword card flying through. Not only that, but the Ace of Swords. So I feel like they look at you and they see you as someone who is able to bring new ideas to the table, right? Especially with the Seven of Pentacles, they might be kind of stuck. This can showcase a bit of a stuck energy, right? A bit of a stubborn energy, or like just wanting to get to that next thing. So you might be that type of person that just gives them that logical step forward. You think through things, you take your time, you plan, you have an action plan. And right, so they see you as a very logic-based person, and that can be really useful. Otherwise, we also, if you feel like you're not a very logical person, it can also be just the way you communicate, because this can showcase like that you're like the first point of contact for people. A lot of you might be bubbly, or the type of person that just is like, because the swords represent air, which is a lot to do with the air element of communication. So I feel like you might be the person that's very approachable, very easy to have a conversation with. You've got really good conversation skills. Maybe it's not necessarily coming from a charming place, but they might find it to be, because we also have the 8 of Wands. So I was getting this feeling, and the other card that flew out, and I'll go ahead and pull it out too. I'll probably put it back in the deck, but just wanted to point out, we also had the 9 of Swords show up with your Ace of Swords, but I was feeling this one more. This 9 of Swords can showcase too, in combination with the 8 of Wands, that because you're very approachable or very good at conversation, you might be the type of person that like talks really quickly because you're anxious, or you want to fill space in a conversation, and they might find that kind of charming, cute about you. Maybe it's not something you particularly like, but I do think that kind of draws them in, that bubbly nature that you have in like a more slightly anxious way. But I think some people might find that kind of charming about you, because I do think you can talk really fast, and especially about things that you're passionate about, because we do have that 8 of Wands. So they know that you have passions, you have dreams, you have things that you're driven towards as well, and that also pulls them in, because they want to share that energy with you. They want to share their passions, and they also find your passions and drive for life to be very attractive as well. So that's what I'm getting mostly from your 8 of Wands and Ace of Swords here, but we're going to go ahead and pull you a center card here before we move on to the charms and letters and numbers. And this is going to give us a little bit more about like exactly what's pulling them in. So this is going to be like the biggest pull. So if we're literally thinking of you and these types of people as like magnets attracting each other together, this is the magnet. This is the thing that people find very magnetizing about you, or these specific types of people. So this might be a trait that you don't particularly like about yourself, but other people do, vice versa. We're going to see what comes through. So I already got a couple flying out. I don't know if I was feeling these ones necessarily, but I'm going to go ahead and keep them anyway, because who knows? So, oh my goodness. Okay, of course. All right, I didn't even look at the other one. We, of course, have healing, which showed up, which I wasn't exactly sure about, but in combination with passion makes a lot of sense. So like I said, I feel like they're possibly at a stuck point right now within their passions. They want to be moving forward. They're, like I said, they're looking towards the future, but you might be that like kind of key that's unlocking bits and pieces in them, seeing logical points of view in which they can move forward. So this does feel very like working together. I do get a bit of a colleague vibe, so maybe, that might be the types of people you're attracting in, friendships and colleagues, and that kind of like community element. But like I said, we have passion showing up here. So you are bringing in someone finds you to be very passionate about life, or passionate about the thing, even passionate about your own personal healing, your own personal growth. You might be a very self-aware person because you've had to find what really lights you up in life, really find what fills up your cup, and not just follow the scripts that society gives us. If you do this, this, and this, you're successful. You find your own success in life. And I think people can find that really alluring and attractive about you, because you're not necessarily following a set path given to you, but you're just following like what makes sense to you, what feels good in the moment, what's bringing you life and filling your cup. So I think they follow that sort of same rule in life, and I think that's why when we pulled this Page of Cups, there is this feeling of like a mutual respect for each other, and that's mutual self-awareness, that, like I said, you might first see this person and think that they're one thing, but underlying that, you'll realize there was a lot more healing, or a lot more that you have in common than you originally thought. So it's maybe just giving people a little bit more time of day, as just an advice element going on with all of this. But at the end of the day, like I said, you are free to reject these type of people. If this is not who you want to be attracting in, that's totally cool. But it's good to know why they might be coming to you, or what traits about you are magnetizing to them, and how maybe you could start to repel them if that's not something you're into. But those are all of your cards. Let's move on to your charms. So for this, we are actually going to use my little charm board here to do your letter tiles and numbers. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom you in so you can see everything here. And so the letters are going to be just letter tiles, and we're going to look into any names and dates and places and oracle messages that might show up within this. So it could be initials or other things. Like we had at the start, you had the letter Z show up for your piles, so that might resonate for some of you already. But let's go ahead and get going. Group 1. Oh, it says hi. That's so cute. Okay, so immediately I'm getting that, like I said, they're very friendly, very bubbly kind of person as well. Maybe not bubbly, but like I said, just they have like that charming nature to them. They don't have to say a lot to kind of intrigue you, even if it's like not necessarily what you expected. But we do have hi showing up here, so someone reaching out. Like I said, we did have that surprise element with that page, so it could even be it might be someone from your past, or someone you've already met, was already an acquaintance that you're re-attracting back in. Other things we have here, we have the letter A, O, and U. So you can see what comes in for you. That's a lot of vowels. Vowels, for me, feel like a very open feeling, right? You got to really open your mouth. So it is, again, like open communication coming through with the vowels for me. We do have ha, which is making me think of like laughing. So they might be a very, like I said, with all that passion and stuff, they might be like very comedic or witty, or you might be, and that's what attracts them in. But those are the letters that we have here. Feel free to play around with those even deeper. But we're going to also pull you some numbers. So these could be, if this is someone you want to attract in, this might be giving you dates or hints numerically or like date-wise on who this might be. This can also be, when they might be coming in. But this can also be angel numbers as well. So take it how you'd like to see or what feels right. It's group 1. Your numbers here. Okay, so the numbers that we got here, we have the number 12 coming up here twice in the colors orange and blue. And then we also have the number 10. So for me, 12 usually represents like ultimate harmony. Makes you think of like a dozen as well, right? So 2 people who are in good harmony coming together. We also have it being an even number. You can also talk about like in terms of like monthly. It could be somewhere between November and December within the year, or 12 months or 10 months from now. But so it might take a little while for it to develop is something that I'm seeing here as well. But feel free to see how those resonate for you. And then lastly, we're going to pull the charms. So what I want to do with these ones today is we're going to pull specific charms to look into. Are you, and obviously this is up to you, but just in general advice coming through, is it someone that you should be repelling, or is it someone who is kind of attracting you in? And I think this is going to be different for each of you, so definitely see how your intuition sparks. But let's see what that magnet is doing for you guys here. So group 1. Okay, so we have quite a few. The ones that you got here are, you have a little piece of lint there, but the ones that we have here, we already have another letter showing up here. So we have the letter R. So now we have R to add into the rest of our letters. But other things that we have showing up here, we have the locket, which again, this is even the friendship locket as well. You have like one that's more specific to love, and this is like friendship or self-love. And a locket showcases again that they're not like an easy person to open their whole feelings, right? They have a surface level that they show to everyone, and then you have to dive a little bit deeper, get to know them a lot more to open the rest of it. They're not an open book right off the bat. So again, I don't think they give their friendship out on a silver platter, and if that's something you're looking for, then that might be a repel element, or it just might be something to keep in mind if this is someone you would find attractive and you would want to continue to attract in. We also have, it says, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. And this came upside down, so it's kind of the opposite message. So again, I feel like they're a very honest person regardless of the last fact. So it's not that they aren't honest. It's just that they have things that they keep private, or they, it takes a little bit to get to know them, but they aren't trying to be dishonest, from the get-go. And then the last thing that we have here is the wrench. So this can be to put a wrench in it. So seeing as this fell in the middle, and this is about if you should repel or attract towards this person, it might mean that these people, again, are going to take a while to get there, right? If you put a wrench in it, that means you're going to come back to it later. So again, with that high element, I kept getting this feeling that it might be someone you've met before, or these types of people might be the people that you've met before, and they're kind of re-coming into your life. So it might be old friendships, old colleagues, people you used to talk to and were acquaintances, but now you've grown a lot more together, or you'd like to grow more together. That's kind of what I'm getting here. It also can showcase that they're a very capable person, or you're very capable of deciding if this is something to pursue or not. And I think it's going to be a case-by-case basis. So those are all of your charms and all of your cards here. I hope you found this reading useful and helpful for you moving forward, and you got something out of it about the type of people that are coming into your life and the type of people you might want to attract or repel because of that, and maybe even a little bit about you. So I hope you found something. And if you did, definitely let me know in the comments down below. I love hearing your thoughts. I love hearing how things connect and really resonate for you throughout these readings. If you enjoyed this reading, definitely be sure to give this video a like, as well as let me know down below. And also, if you are new, feel free to subscribe to this Kindred space. I put out new readings every single Monday for you for love, career, spirituality. They're all inclusive as well. And also, lastly, if you'd like to support this space, as I've said before and at the beginning, the support that comes through from the Kindred tip jar is amazing. So I really appreciate any tips that have come through from that. But also, you can check out the different things I'm doing for Pride Month down below in the description or on my Instagram, as I have fun new things showing up there. And also the spell paper that I create and the snail mail readings that I do, especially if you want to dive deeper into this specific topic. I've done lots of snail mail readings on that are a lot of fun, so definitely feel free to reach out for those. So that is everything for this reading. Thank you so much for being here, supporting yourself, seeing what comes through, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Hello, Group 2. If you've decided to choose this amethyst heart as well as the letter L, then this is the pile for you. As I mentioned in the intro, my voice is kind of still recovering from a cold, so definitely forgive me as we move through these piles. But we are going to be using the charms as well as the letter tiles and numbers today using this casting board. We're also going to maybe be hitting up the watercolor affirmations, depends, and we're also going to be using a oracle deck, which I'll have listed with everything else down below, and the Crystal Unicorn Tarot, perfect for Pride Month. This is an all-inclusive reading, so we're not only going to be looking into who you might be attracting in romantically, but also within friendships and other meaningful relationships in our lives that we can build upon. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm very excited. I enjoyed pile 1 so far. Let's see what you have coming in pile 2. So we're going to first look into 3 traits of the types of people you are currently attracting in, and then later we're going to look into more detail on why that is. So if you are settled and ready to go with a cup of tea, some water, a nice snack, or a cozy blanket, then we are going to go ahead and get started. So here we go. Feel free to send your energy in. Group 2, what type of people are you attracting in at the current moment? What kinds of people? All right, so we've got 1 flying out. Let's look a little further. All right, let's look a little bit. I'm going to get 1 more here. 1 more. Group 2, looking for our 3rd card. Okay, so those ones were flying out right away. I was just feeling like an immediate response to get all 3 first. And get the whole picture. So the first one that we had come out was the Knight of Wands. Totally makes sense. Very passionate, very driven energy. Very similar to pile 1 in that passionate energy if you couldn't decide between the two. But we also have the Nine of Wands showing up. More wand energy as well as the Hierophant. So we have 2 on the wands, which showcases a very passionate person, a person driven. I do feel like a lot of drive and a lot of intention with the plans and things that they're kind of moving through within their life. There's a lot of intention there. And then with the 9 of Wands and the Hierophant, I get this feeling that they are kind of a rebel. They're not the most traditional person. They go against societal norms. They might be very much a person who advocates for other people or advocates for, nonprofit kind of things. I also get this feeling that they, like I said, they just kind of just want to sort of rebel against those norms, because with the 9 of Wands, it showcases someone who's sort of built up walls because of possibly having to go through difficult times in their lives or having to follow a script that just never really was them growing up or who they wanted to be, right? That can be because of a lot of different things within society, right? It can be just like our career. It can be a piece of ourselves, a part of the way that we were brought up, or, it can just be things like, toxic masculinity or it could be a very varied array of things for these types of people. But the point is, they are the rebel archetype. They are very much interested in not just doing, I don't feel like they want to be a rebel to be different or like to be alternative or something like that, like in a attention seeking kind of way, or in a way that like makes them feel different or other. I feel like they're doing it because, like I said, they had to go through something that kept kind of going against their gut, and they followed their gut, they followed their intuition, and they know who they are, and they don't want to sort of fall into the societal traps of having to be something that they're not, or follow a script that just isn't them. They don't want to act, they don't want to play around. They want to be real with the world and real with the people that they're around. So that's what I'm really getting so far from this, is this feeling of like that rebellion, or a feeling of being authentic and honest with the world, which is really, really cool. I really like that. That doesn't mean they haven't had their fair share of battles, their fair share of like difficulty in life, but I don't think that they see that as something that isn't worth fighting against for the reward of being themselves, you know? Other things that I have coming in here too, though, is that they might be a very, like, the type of person that had to grow up very quickly as well. So they could be slightly more mature, or more of a kind of lone wolf is kind of the feeling I'm getting, right? Like that feeling of being a lone wolf, because we also have the Hierophant card, which showcases, again, following against those social norms. They don't want to listen to a leader that's just telling them what to do. So in doing so, they kind of have had to board themselves up, they've quite a few walls to make sure that like you are worthy of like their time, or to make sure that you're not kind of making them fall back into their old ways that they don't wish to be in, those sorts of things. I also see a lot of adventure. I feel like this is a person who can be or type of person rather, that could be very adventurous. Like they want to go from one thing to the next, and they want to try this and move to that. So they may not be the best at finishing things, I would say, but I do get this feeling that they are very driven in whatever they are fully focusing on. Like if you're that focused, you're that focus. If this is their focus, that's their focus. So I do get that as well. So let's go ahead and start looking as to why this is. Like, why are these types of people being attracted to you? So we're going to look into two traits about you that they find very attractive and alluring and magnetizing about you that are bringing them in. And then we're going to look into a much bigger message alongside that. So let's see, what about you is attractive and alluring to these types of people of the Knight of Wands, Nine of Wands, and the Hierophant card? What makes you attractive to them? What makes you attractive to them? And feel free, as always, to send your energy in. So here we have the King of Cups, a very different energy, right? We have that driven, very like, stoic almost energy of like having to board things off and keep your feelings in. And then we have the King of Cups, which is all about being emotionally vulnerable, open, very much the opposite in that way. I definitely feel more of an opposite attract kind of feeling within this. But let's look a little bit further. So what else is coming in here for you that makes you attractive? So I'm going to go ahead and take this one out as well. And of course, we also got the Queen of Cups flying out here as well. So we've got both the King and the Queen. So you might be someone who's a water sign, or just very connected to your emotions, to your emotional vulnerability, to sometimes having your heart on your sleeve, right? You're very much the opposite. You're not trying to be or trying to put up walls against other people, because you have such emotional vulnerability. You want to be real with the world in a very different way, where they want to be real with the world in that like rebellious, this is who I am, bold, kind of courageous way. You come from a much gentler side of that same coin, right? So it's not fully opposites, but there is that kind of feeling. And because we got both a Queen and a King, it is giving me this feeling, and not gendered wise, but just in general, two sides to a half or to a whole. It does make me think that, again, this might be a more romantic relationship that we're looking at, or a friendship, like a deep friendship. and kinship with someone. But like I said, I feel like they just see you as a much more gentle soul, someone who can make them feel a little bit softer, a little bit more open and real with the world in that way. The other thing I too get as well with this Queen of Cups is this feeling of intuition playing into this as well. You have a more intuitive element to you where they kind of fly through the world because of that rebellious eye, right? They just want to keep doing they don't want to do what's expected of them. They want to try doing something that they just feel passionate about, where you have more of this more gentle, nurturing side of it that comes from an intuitive space. So you're not listening. Sometimes you fall within the societal scripts and sometimes you don't, but it's just based off your intuition, what feels right in the moment, and less of a rebellious form. So again, I see them seeing that as a much more nurturing side, and some that's like, again, very similar coin, but a different coin, right? It's like silver and copper. You guys are just like very similar, but not the exact same. So with that said, there's not a lot I can say here because they're very much the same coin of energy. Let's look a little further. So now we're going to pull the magnet about you, right? This is like the big one. What is really drawing this person into you, or these types of people to you? And as always, I just want to mention now, you are welcome to repel this energy. Like with any magnet, sometimes it attracts, sometimes it repels, and we'll definitely be getting more of that when I do the charms, because we're going to look into that specifically. But if you're going through this and this is like, oh man, these are not my people, that's totally okay. Just make sure that you use this information to understand more about yourself so that you can maybe start to repel these types of people as well. So let's see the thing that's magnetizing them the most, your trait that magnetizes these people the most to you. Group 2 here. Group 2. What is it about you that is so alluring and magnetizing to these types of people? The Hierophant, the Nine of Wands, and the Knight of Wands here. As always, feel free to send your energy in through time and space. Okay, so we have good luck, but I feel like there's another element in here. I can feel it. Okay. So we also have family showing up here. Very different vibe. So like I said, because these people have gone through possibly stuff in their past, trauma, or through that rebellious phase kind of feeling, they might not be on the best terms with their family, but if you have a family that you're very close to, or even a found family or kindred kind of community, those types of people they find are kind of like a package deal with you, and they find those types of people to be also very attractive in terms of like friendship and kinship and love that they can find and support as well. We also have that maybe you're just like a good luck charm in their life. They just find that you're very lucky, or when they're around you they feel really lucky, and like life just has, you're that lucky coin. I keep saying coin, like there's those two sides of a coin. Maybe you're that lucky side of the coin to them. Sorry, my voice keeps going in and out, but the other thing that I wanted to mention is with the both the King and the Queen of Cups, we have that feeling of like sovereignty that's showing up here again with the good luck charm, or card rather, and it's giving me this feeling that like they see you as someone who's a leader. You might not see yourself as that, but they look at you and they see you as being someone who's a little bit more mature, or a little bit more like you have something that they wish they also had, and they see you as someone that they can learn and grow and see more of themselves within as they get to know you more. So that's also what's coming in here with that good luck kind of message, which I think is really interesting because we talked about earlier with the Hierophant that they kind of reject that they have that rebellious idea, or reject the idea of someone being a leader in their life, or someone higher than them, or someone who is, someone they have to look up to, right? They kind of rebel against that idea. So to have you be someone who they at least see and want to look up to is a big deal for them. So I find that really interesting that you'd have that dynamic there. And it might just be that you have that little bit of spark or something that they just really don't mind, or they just find a lot more nurturing, gentle nature to you that they really enjoy. They also might be attracted to you, and like I said, this could be a family member that's reaching out that you haven't really met before. It can be that they are someone within like your family, right? It could be a family friend or something like that. It might be someone you've already met in that way. So with that said, those are all of your cards here, but we are going to move on to your charms. If you are enjoying this reading so far, though, definitely be sure to give this video a like. It really does help so much. And if you haven't already, definitely feel free to subscribe to this Kindred space. But we are going to go ahead and move on to your charms and your letter tiles and cards. So let's go ahead and zoom you in. So you can see a little bit further here. First, we're going to start with your letter tiles. So this is going to give us initials, dates, names, places, oracle messages. The letter that you got when we started this reading was the letter L, so that might resonate with the rest of you, but we're going to see a little bit more here. So group 2. Okay, got a lot here. We've got DOR showing up here. I don't know why that made me think of like the brand Dior, or like again, that attractive, like maybe you just smell really nice, or there's something about that, like sometimes like just biologically there's a like pheromone feeling, very specific, but still that might be coming through. So we have DOR. You also might be like a door to them, a new space to open a new opportunity. We have DNORA, E, and E. So I'm seeing done showing up here. I know it doesn't fully say it here, but I'm feeling like I see arc. So again, with that like feeling of all this cup energy, filling a cup, feeling very fulfilled by the world, you might be that arc that's kind of, like moving them through this space that might be kind of difficult for them right now, or that they feel very boarded off from. I also see Dean or R. I see on and even near. So it might be someone you live very close to as well. Is also what I'm getting, is this feeling of like they might be much closer than you think. So it could also be, like I said earlier, it could be a family friend or someone that's already within your social circle, but just like one branch out. So you kind of know them, you've seen them at parties, or you've seen them at things and events, but you haven't like really met them. And so it could be also that that's what's coming through. So those are all of your letters here, but let's go ahead and move on to your numbers. So this could be dates, or this can be a specific angel number or things like that. So let's see what comes through. Group 2. Okay, so not too many here. The ones that popped up here first are the number 5 as well as 12. 5 in the color black, 12 in the color blue. We have 11 in the color orange, and 6 in the color blue. So the ones that correlate in color is 12 and 6, which is interesting because 12 is half, or sorry, 6 is half of 12 here. So it can be, again, that half of a coin, the other half of a coin showing up here again. 5 showcases a change. And then 11 can showcase a wishful number. So again, wishing or manifestation. So that's what we have showing up here for your numbers and letters. But as always, you can see these as dates or months, birthdays or things like that, and see how they resonate for you. But lastly, we're going to pull you some charms. So this time, we're not just looking for advice or things like that, although those might come through. For this, I want to look specifically in, and obviously this is always up to you, but if we are feeling like this is a magnet to repel, like the types of people to repel, or the types of people that could very positively be a good positive influence in your life. So we're going to see how that comes in for you. So here we go. Feel free to send your energy in as always. So group 2. Interesting. So we have a couple of them that came out here. So the first one that came out on its own was the Logic charm, which I find really interesting, especially if you are feeling a pull towards group 1. I would definitely recommend looking at that one as well. But we do have the Logic charm, seeing things from a different point of view or looking at you as a piece of the puzzle. So in terms of if this is a person to pursue or not, it definitely seems like they have a piece of something you can not only offer them, but they can offer back to you, which is really good, that reciprocal energy. We have the bottled up charm. So this makes me think that, like, you maybe have had feelings for these types of people before, or there's like, I feel like there's another layer to a few of you. Like I said, if it's someone who's been in your circles before, you might already have a feeling of who this is. And this specifically, I feel like, relates to you. If that's something that you're already resonating with, because I feel like you have bottled up feelings or bottled up emotions towards this person that maybe need to be talked about. The other thing that we have coming through here as well is the reindeer charm, which I love. This one is about believing versus seeing, or, because it's a reindeer, it's kind of like, reindeer can't fly kind of feeling, but it's like sometimes you have to just believe it to see it. And I feel like if you feel like these types of people are like above you, or, oh, I would love to have that kind of person, that rebellious, charming kind of person, or even if, like I said, if it's someone you already know, but you just like doubt that they could ever be someone who's also maybe attracted to you in some way, definitely there's a hidden layer here that's coming through as well, of like, maybe there's more there than you think. And also the idea that, like, to believe that you can be someone who is attractive as well. I feel like some of you might be even reading into this and thinking, how could anyone find me attractive? There are definitely people who are attracted to you, for sure. So as of if this is a person to repel or keep in your life or to pursue, that's totally up to you. That is totally within your own agency. But I definitely am getting more romantic or friendship vibes coming from your pile. So feel free to take it however you see it. But if you enjoyed this reading, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below, in the different charms and cards and letters and numbers. I would love to hear how it resonates. That's always so interesting and fascinating to me. Also, if you enjoyed this reading, definitely be sure to give this video a like. It really does help the channel so much, so I appreciate it. And if you want to support this channel even further, you can also check out the Kindred tip jar down below. It helps me to get more charms, more cards, and more ways in which to enhance these readings for you. So it all goes back to the channel. And also, if you are looking into different snail mail readings that I do, if you want to look a little bit further into this, into who these people might be, and to look even deeper, for other things as well, for career or for love or your own self-empowerment, I would love to do a snail mail reading. I have all of the information on all of that down below, as well as the other offerings that I'm doing for Pride Month that I am very excited about. I'm not sure as of when I'm announcing it, so if so, you'll see more of it on the screen now. If not, definitely check out my Instagram. I will be posting more about that very soon. I also make magical paper and do other fun things. So to stay up to date on all of that, that'll be down below. And if you are new to the channel, maybe this is your first time here or you've been here for a while, a lot of you are not subscribed but do check in, definitely feel free to subscribe. I would love to be able to notify you of each of the videos that I put out every single Monday, so you can keep up to date on them and keep coming back in and seeing what you have in store. So definitely feel free to subscribe, support the channel, like and comment, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for being here, and bye. Hello Group 3, if you've decided to choose this Bumblebee Jasper heart as well as the letter S, then this is the pile for you. I'm definitely starting to lose my voice a little bit more within each of these piles, so definitely forgive me if it gets scratchy or weird throughout this reading, but we are going to be looking into the charms as well as, instead of the watercolor affirmations today, we're actually going to be looking into more within the charms for letters and number tiles, so that's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be using the Spellcasting Oracle as well as the Crystal Unicorn Tarot, perfect for Pride Month. I love love pulling this one out for it. It's so gender neutral and open. So very all-inclusive reading for this. We're not just going to look into only romantic relationships that you might be bringing in, but colleagues, friendships, community members, other sorts of important and relevant relationships within our lives that might be budding or moving into. So feel free to get settled and ready to go with some water, a cup of tea, a cozy blanket. Some of you have told me that you do chores or listen to other fun things on the side. But let's go ahead and get started. Feel free to send your energy, as always, in. I'm having so much fun with these. So let's get started. So first, we're going to look into the first 3 cards, which is going to be showcasing the types of people that you're attracting in. So their traits and qualities. And then we're going to look into why that is, and even deeper with the charms later on. So let's get started. Group 3. As always, feel free to send your energy in. So group 3, who are you attracting in at the moment? So, okay, so we've got the 10 of Cups flying out right off the bat. 10 of Cups. This definitely has a family element, a very emotionally adept person, a person who's very emotionally mature. They're very good with their feelings and their thoughts, or they're currently just like, when you meet them, or the type of people that you might be meeting when this happens, they're just going to be like very high on life, right? They just really got it. So let's look a little bit further into this. So we're looking for 2 more traits here of the types of people you are currently attracting in with your own energy, and how that is coming in and manifesting here. So group 3, who are you attracting in at this time? What types of people? Their traits and qualities. Group 3. Group 3. As always, send your energy in. That really does make a difference. Who are you attracting in? Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so we've got the Hanged Unicorn showing up here first. And then we'll see what else we have here. We also have the 9 of Cups. We've got the 10 of Cups, the 9 of Cups, the Hanged Unicorn. This person is like high on life right now. They definitely are seeing a new perspective, or recently have come into a new perspective on life that's just really got them feeling confident, feeling very much in their element is what I'm getting here. The Hanged Unicorn can also showcase like going against the norm or doing things a little bit differently. They also might currently be sort of in a hiatus, or like taking a step back in life, and maybe that's filling their cup right now. Maybe they're taking time to be on a vacation when you meet them, or the types of people that you might be attracting in are just currently just taking time to really breathe, sit in life, enjoy life, feel confident by life, because otherwise they would just be like work, getting things done, moving through the process. They've really taken time to like slow down, get in nature, be mindful. They're very in the present moment. The other thing that I got here, like I said, the 9 of Cups, they might be a very lucky person, a very much interested in manifestation, or in synchronicities and things like that kind of stuff, that kind of woo-woo stuff. They might be also into that. That's what I'm also getting from this. The 9 of Cups also showcases, like I said, that feeling of fulfillment in who they are. They're a very self-aware person, where they're currently going through a lot of healing to be more self-aware in who they are, what they like. You know, sometimes we just go through the motions, and they're really looking deeper within themselves to go through sort of a soul searching kind of moment. So these people are very much soul searching at the moment. The other thing that I'm getting here from the 10 of Cups is they're very much involved in a community of people, of like-minded people, and maybe that's why they're attracted to you as well, and we'll see more here in a minute. But I feel like they might be attracted to you because you have that sort of community element, or they meet you through a community of like-minded people. I also feel like they're very open. I feel like they're a very open person, maybe more of an open book. And they might just be, I really am getting this feeling of like kinship, of understanding on a very soul level with this person. It feels very deep. Like I feel like you have very deep things in common that you could really talk about, and they can be very understanding as a person as well. So that's what I'm getting here. They also, I feel like, are a very good listener. Like, they're very, very much a good listener with the Hanged Unicorn. They really, what they have to say, they really think about. They understand. They're a very sensitive person, not in like a, like you have to tiptoe around them, but more so that they're very sensitive to people's feelings and understanding them. I don't get like from a people-pleasing way, but just in like a, they get you. If they really get you, they really get you. You know what I mean? Like, these aren't people who, like, just kind of pretend to understand what you're talking about or, like, kind of listen to you. They're fully present if they're going to be in your life. And I think that that's really cool, too. They seem like a really genuine person, which is really awesome to see. So, yeah, really good stuff coming up here. Let's go ahead and look now into why you might be attracting these types of people in your life. So we're going to look into 2 different traits that you have that they find attractive about you, that are pulling you to the surface for them, that they find you attractive. So let's see, what is magnetizing about you at this time? So we have first off the King of Pentacles, which is really interesting. A very stable person, a very capable person. I also get this feeling of being very like adept at what you're good at. You do a really good job. I also am getting this feeling that you're, like I said, you're very capable. They just find you very like grounding. That's the word I was looking for, grounding. So I feel like they, like I said, they're very like kind of floaty. They're like hanging upside down. They're not super grounded. They are grounded in the present moment, but like I feel like they can be very floaty and kind of like fun, enjoying life. And you can really root them down, not in a like be practical, be realistic kind of way, but just like you feel like they feel like you could be an anchor that they feel really solid in. So that's really cool. Let's see what else is really attractive and alluring about you that is kind of pulling these types of people towards you. So why might you be attracted towards this Hanged Unicorn, 10 of Cup, or 9 of Cup type of person? So let's see. Feel free to send your energy in. Okay, so I don't know if I was feeling the Emperor, but I more so was feeling this one that was right off the top here. And we got the Strength card, which totally makes sense as well. And funny enough, the Emperor is also very solid. I feel like the Emperor and the King of Pentacles is almost one in the same. So yeah, again, you're a very practical person, a very realistic, very kind of got all your ducks in a row kind of person, so they can really rely on you, or you're a very reliable person, which they enjoy. Strength is also giving me, again, there's that deeper element that we were getting here, a deeper kinship, which is making me think that if you're looking for friendship or a romantic relationship, or even just like a soul level connection, even with a stranger, just really having that type of long conversation where you just truly understand each other, it's because you've come through difficult trials and tribulations that are very similar, and in that you've both come out much stronger, maybe in different ways. But like I said, they're going through this soul-searching moment. They're going through quite a lot of healing themselves. And I think that you've either gone through that self-awareness, you've gone through that soul-searching too, or you're currently also. And I feel like they can connect to you in that way. They really want to talk to you and really engage in a conversation with you because of that. So I'm getting multiple different layers here. This could definitely be a romantic relationship, a friendship, a soul level connection, or even just like I said, you could just really connect with someone like in the grocery store and just have like a 30-minute conversation that you weren't expecting, and maybe you'll never see them again, but you're definitely bringing in people who have gone through similar or likewise sorts of moments in your life that you can really connect on. So really cool that that's coming through for you. You guys have a very surprising and very deep pile. But now that we know that we have that King of Pentacles and Strength coming through, let's look at the biggest magnet. So that's what we're going to look through with this Oracle card here. This is going to be the biggest magnet. And something that I want to point out, because I pointed it out with the other piles too, is throughout this reading, if you feel like this is not your kind of person, or this is not really what you're looking for, you are welcome to reject these people, to repel against them. You know, a magnet can both attract and repel. You are welcome to do that. That is totally up to you. And we're going to look even deeper within that with the charms here in a minute. But just because you can attract these type of people doesn't mean you have to, engage in conversation or a relationship with them. So let's see your biggest magnetic trait that's coming through for you, group 3. So as always, send your energy in, your vibe, your feelings. We're going to look into that trait here for you, group 3. What is a trait that is attracting them in? All right, so we got freedom here. Really, really cool. And the other one that also is showing up here too was home, which I think is really interesting. So we have both freedom and home. These are two things where you have like one where they're taking flight and then one that's more stable and grounding. So again, I feel like you're a very stable person, but you're not trying to hold anyone back. You want people to be their free, authentic self, and they are very free and authentic, right? So you are attractive because you're not trying to hold people in a cage. You're not trying to keep them from being who they are. You want people to be authentic to themselves because you make them feel at home. You make them feel safe, secure, to be honest, to be authentic, to be vulnerable. And I think that's really cool. You give that stable place. So that makes so much sense that that's coming through here. Your home doesn't feel like a cage. It feels free. It feels not like a house, but an actual home, a community. And what I think is interesting too is we actually have two birds on this card. So we have the bird that's flying and free, and then we have the bird that's chilling at the top and kind of looking into this home, looking through the windows. So I almost feel like they've like flown to freedom and they're wanting to be invited into this space. And especially because the 10 of Cups has a lot to do with family, found family, that kind of element of family. I do think that you can feel like a home or a family to them, that you are found family to them, or you're bringing in that kind of people who are looking for a home, who are looking to get comfy and to feel like this could be a relationship or a friendship that could really last the years, and right, because you both are putting in the effort, you're both putting in the time, the engage conversation to keep this going. It definitely doesn't feel like a relationship that's just gonna like fizzle out, unless it's that stranger kind of moment, which is very Kindred in like the grocery store. Other than that element, the rest of it feels very long term. So I like that. I really like that coming through for you guys. So those are all of your cards, but let's definitely move on to your charms. And we're going to be doing that here with a little charm casting, and I'll zoom you in here. But if you are enjoying this reading so far, definitely be sure to give this video a like. It really does help the channel so much. So thank you to everyone who just went and liked the video. I really do appreciate it. But we are going to move on to the charms. But first we'll start with your letter tiles and then your numbers. The letter that you had chosen for this pile was the letter S, so that might already correlate with the rest of the ones that you get here. These could be initials, places, dates, other oracle information. Group 3. All right, we have a lot showing up here. And you had to actually fall on the side here. So we have the letter U, which I think is really interesting. I'm almost getting this feeling like you're attracting someone who's very similar to you, or that like you almost would look at them and you wouldn't maybe see them physically as a doppelganger, but like you're like, wow, we are almost the same person. We are one. Like you really feel that. We have URNOI showing up here. I got like Euro, like European maybe. And then we got D and R. For whatever reason, I got drone, which makes me think like you don't want someone who just continues to drone on about things. So that's, I feel like it's very specific to some of you. We also got Ron or Dawn. But that Euro is honestly what's popping up the most for me. This feeling of like European or someone who is like, or maybe you'll meet them through something that is through your work or through like I said, like a place of like commerce, or like or like a bank. I don't know. I'm getting some sort of feeling with that. We also have, like I said, DRIN, DRIN. Yeah, I'm not really getting any other really big hits, but definitely feel free to write these down or include the letter S, which you had earlier, within this to see what comes through for you. But we're going to look into your numbers now. So this is going to be for angel numbers of advice, or you might also see them as dates or months or days within a week or something like that might be coming through in terms of when these types of people might be coming in. So let's go ahead and look at that. Group 3. They keep flying out of the bowl today. Okay, so not too many, but this is the one that flew out. So we have the number 7. That one showed up like right away in the color black. We also have the number 6 in the color black and the number 11 here. Do you think that's everything? So 11 is a wish-making number. I think it's fallen out for all 3 piles. There's definitely like a manifestation element to this. Like I talked about earlier, they may have been wanting to manifest you into their life, so that could be like a double side to this. 6, 7, and 11, so it could be like July, June, and November, or even dates within this coming couple of months. But see what comes through there. 6, 7, 11. And lastly, now we're going to move into your charms. So this is, and feel free to start sending your energy in for these, but this is going to look into if this is the type of person which, at least by spirit and like advice coming through, is someone to repel or someone to embrace and like truly let that attraction happen, as well as any advice coming through. So let's see. Group 3 here. Okay, how interesting, we actually got the freedom charm showing up. Okay, so I had several that just kept popping out, right? Like I just kept feeling like I needed to keep grabbing for more. But interesting that both piles, and there's a lot of charms in here, both piles got the letter, sorry, not both piles, but these pile number 2 and your pile got the letter R showing up here. So someone definitely has R showing up and you had 2 R's. There's 3 R's showing up here. So that's definitely, maybe it's someone's name or something showing up there, but we have the letter R showing up again. And then also, what I think is interesting is you actually got the best friends charm. So like I said, this can be a romantic relationship, but I also see that this is definitely a friendship that blossoms first, if so, but definitely feel a deep kindred friendship that's coming through here within your charms. Other things we got here is the Marisa's charm. This is it's like a button. It makes me think, like, as when I had this, it was like when you're going through like an awkward phase where you're moving from one like you're moving from one closet to the next, or you're moving from one version of you to the next, right? Like you've kind of outgrown yourself. You've outgrown the pot that you've been growing in. If you're a plant, right? You're ready to be repotted into a new space. And I think that is sort of a symbol of how this relationship would move forward, is that you both would like grow quite deeply from growing roots together or becoming more rooted together. I think that would actually help you really grow and shift into a new perspective in life. Other things, we got the freedom charm showing up here again. So you could be feeling very free within this relationship. You feel a lot less caged in. We also got the intuition showing up here with a shell. It also makes me think that you would be getting out of your shell within this relationship. We also got this is a little cat, but it's like if you've ever had those Like, and it's interesting that we're talking about magnets repel and attract. It's one of those magnets where you like would, I don't know how to explain it, but you would like set all of the magnets up until it would fall. This is like making me think of you needing to balance this relationship. So it could be very easy to be very attracted to this person, or these type of people to be very attracted to you, where it's like very deeply attractive. That I think it's also to like give yourself some time, some balance away from this person as well, because it could be very strong right off the bat that you need like that space as well. And then we also lastly got like the wildflower or growth charm. So this one makes me think of like really kindred growth, or again, that like blooming feeling, like you can really bloom with this person. So yeah, lots of really good things, really good signs for this being a very attractive relationship. But again, as always, this is up to you. You are welcome to do as you'd like. But those are all of your charms and cards here today. If you enjoyed this reading, definitely be sure, as I said earlier, to give this video a like. But also, let me know, did you see something in the charms, in the cards, in the letters, or anything like that? I would love to hear your thoughts. I find it super fascinating. And also, feel free to subscribe to this Kindred space if you haven't already. I know a lot of you watch but haven't actually subscribed, so if that's something that you're interested in doing, definitely feel free to. I put out new readings every single Monday for love, career, spirituality, monthly readings, 2-week readings, and they're all inclusive all year round. So definitely feel free and consider subscribing. And speaking of inclusivity as well as Pride, if you want to check out the different things that I'm putting out for Pride on my Instagram and within my offerings, then definitely feel free to check those out. I'm doing lots of fun things over there, as well as I do snail mail readings that you can check out if you want to look deeper into this or into your career or other things that you might have questions and queries on. So all of the information on those will be down below, and how you can contact me to get one of those done for you. And also, if you would like to check out the Kindred tip jar, that's another great way to support this space, as those tips go directly back into the channel. So thank you to everyone who has supported this space, supported yourself through this reading, or checked out the different offerings I provide. It's really, really lovely that you have. Thank you so much. And also, I do believe that is everything. Thank you so much for being here, for supporting yourself through this reading, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.